Hello everyone, SiegeLink here, back with my fourth Company of Heroes 2 replay, and this is the fourth win in a row I've had, and I honestly cannot tell you how unbelievable that is. Even though I will say that this win did not fully feel like a win for two reasons. First of all, my opponent conceded a tiny bit early, and second, I'm not even certain if my opponent conceded, because it looked like in the end he either rage quit or his computer crashed. It could easily be one of the other two. So one of the things I want to keep a close eye on is these two things here. So IS-2's 4% turn speed and acceleration, and then T-34-85's gain veterancy 10% faster, which emphasizes that he's going to go for this one with the upgraded T-34, the armor assault. But the other ones are good as well. Shock rifle, flamethrower, KV, and then KV-1 heavy tank. Counterattack with also has shock troops. But most likely going to be this one. So something I didn't know until recently is that you can actually swap it to this, which I think allows you to do it from kind of like a first-person perspective of like a player. But for spectating purposes, it's not really worth it. It's better to just do this. So I'm on the south side here, he's on the north side. I decided to go for an immediate second engineer, just to cap points as quickly as I can, because these first initial points seem kind of far. And I didn't go for a machine gun that quickly. But he took a while to actually get any machine guns out. For the most part, he was playing kind of like a top-level player in that he doesn't really rely on machine guns. He just uses, maneuverability. And also, fun little fact, with the way this game worked, I was able to get tier 2, like, quicker than I ever was able to. And as a result, I basically never got this half-track. Which is kind of funny. So he went straight for this one and actually ignored this one, which is a bit of a problem if I ended up capping this one, because I could have cut him off from getting these resources. And if you look at his POV, his angle that he has it at is more of like a spectator angle, like kind of zoomed in a little, but like zoomed, like scrolled down. It's kind of hard to explain. But like you can see it's at a bit of an angle, and it's really weird seeing someone play like this, honestly. And also, if you look at his camera movements, they look kind of like robot-y. It was almost like I was facing a bot at times when I looked back at it. And right here was the first engagement, I think. Some Grenadiers versus some conscripts. I've got some extra Grenadiers here. I've got engineers going up against our conscripts. So he retreats them quickly. And I know my engineers are eventually going to lose versus conscripts, so I'm going to send a Grenadier around the back. Now we have engineers versus engineers. Now, this engagement I ended up losing, which I felt like I should have won, because I had cover here, most of my guys at least, and his cover was the building here. And there's two guys here that are completely vulnerable, but they didn't get shot, which was annoying. It ran away with my engineers there, and his conscripts are kind of trapped. And something he didn't do too well this game was dodging rifle grenades. I was able to get a decent chunk of value from them. They're retreating decently well here, but some guys coming from the back, so I'm forced to retreat. And timing was actually kind of poor. And I was pretty much forced, because I lost this fight as well, to retreat pretty much all of my guys away. And he has a triple cap on me. So I'm retreating 3 guys back to my base at once, and I just recruited a machine gun. So yeah, he has a lot of control of this map. I only have 2 guys, both of which are on the center victory point. But I'm building a bunker so I can get some medics going very quickly. And I didn't believe this, but I got Battle Phase 1 very quickly, and I actually could already build Tier 2. Because usually, this is kind of like an early Tier 2 unit. Like, you don't need Tier 2 to get this half-track. But yeah, I just went pretty much right for Tier 2 and got an actual, like, a usual Wehrmacht half-track. I don't play this game enough to know all, like, the special numbers or something. Like, this one is a STKFZ 250 half-track. So yeah, I expect him to kind of move in here, so I adjusted my machine gun a little bit. And it actually would have been better for me to keep it the way it was. Very close to killing him off, but not quite. Got some engineers. I put them here because I want them in cover, and I want to wait for my grenadiers to help out. But as you can see, he has most of the map controlled. And is about to get another triple cap. And that's one of the things you'll notice in this game is that he was very ahead victory point-wise for most of it. And he constantly kept escaping with a tiny bit of his guys left, which was really annoying in this game. As you can see, he got a mortar pretty quick, and he got 4 conscripts very early with 2 engineers. I wasn't able to get anywhere close to that, even though part of that was because I got this very early. Now here I was confused on how my units got destroyed so quickly. I wasn't looking over here when I saw the mine. Now, I got kind of lucky and I was able to actually retreat in time, but 2 guys no less. And I got a half-track here, but sadly wasn't anywhere close munition-wise. Was able to get another grenadier, and he was focusing mostly on the right here, so I was able to get some of this. And because of his commanders, I could tell he wanted to go heavy on the tanks. Possibly literally, or possibly just figuratively. I expected just figuratively, because I expected him to go for this one, which is a medium tank. So I was focusing... The gas is right next to the victory points on this map, so I was mostly focusing on the gas rather than the VPs. Because I viewed those as more important given what doctrines he had available. I just wanted to prevent him from getting the gas. Because even if I was like at a huge disadvantage when it came down to VPs, if I could get a tank advantage over him, then that would be sort of the game. Which is also pretty crucial because, like I said, I didn't use this commander at all. I should have gone for the Puma one. So here, I was chasing down that guy, but also going for this mortar team. And I did not expect to see 4 units here. So I got double anti-grenaded and just shredded here. I've got an engineer group here, and because he's focusing more on this side of the map, I'm actually able to cap the entire left side here, which is keeping me in it, surprisingly. I shouldn't be able to cap that much, but I was able to. And I have a machine gun here. He's going right for this VP here. He's got a mortar team at his base. Yeah, he's going right for the VPs because he can take it deep within my territory and he doesn't have to worry about resources not being connected. Yeah, losing that half-track early, that was a very bad start. Because he had a big infantry lead, and I gave up the infantry lead in exchange for getting that half-track out, so... Pretty bad spot for me. Was able to get a big grenade down and force him away from there. Just preventing him from getting the gas is big. I did do pretty well in veterancy this game, at least. He did better than I did, but I still did pretty good in that regard. Okay, so here I put my machine guns behind because I knew his units were going to be over there, and I wanted them to retreat into my machine gun fire. Just now he's able to get a T-70 out. And I lost a half track, and I don't have that Doctrine to get the Puma, which is pretty bad. And I also don't think I'm that close here. Actually, I can get this now. But I'm still not that close to getting a Puma or a Stug or anything to deal with the T-70. We've got a big force here coming out. The Grenadier to back up. And he hasn't taken this left side at all. He's still focusing on the right, and that's kind of given me a chance to get back in it. Double capping the gas, preventing him from getting any gas, really. He got the T-70, but that's about it. And then I've got a machine gun on this side, because I didn't expect him to come over here, especially since I got a squad coming here. And yeah, as soon as I could get the ammunitions for it, I decided to get this going. Because I know I'm going to need that. I've got these guys coming in from behind. I really, really wanted that mortar team dead. And I got pretty close to doing it here. Especially with the body block. A lot of guys damaged, but not many dead. Now T-70 is coming to take out the machine gun I have. Got some Grenadiers here. And here, I've got the Panzerschrecks, double hit, and then I got a Faust. Got a Faust on him. And then another double Panzerschrecks. That, like, max range was able to kill the T-70, and that was huge. I really need that T-70 dead. If that T-70 stayed alive, it would have taken so long for me to actually get a proper answer to it, and he would have been able to take control of the game. Especially with it being 500 to 300 BPs. But here he has a big force coming. I just wanted to basically stop him from getting a bunch of resources. As you can see, like, he never grabbed this, so he wasn't never actually able to get this gas. Like, just even not getting that myself, but just capping it, or just preventing him from getting it, was huge. He had a lot of guys over here. I got a few pretty low, but not really good enough. Got some Grenadiers versus some Conscripts here. And I've just got a little bit too many guys. And I finally got a double cap so I can slowly get his points down at least by a little bit. Finally I was able to connect this up and connect these up. These guys come and send some Grenadiers in. He didn't really need to retreat here. He just retreated to that point there. Retreated just barely in time to get away from there. Didn't really need to retreat there either. I'm sending a bunch of my guys over this side. And he just marches in on this side again. It's mostly a meta battle. He's been over here, I've been over here mostly. But I've got tier 3 going, so I can get some Panzers soon. In fact, I think I have enough gas. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to get it in any second here. So yeah, didn't actually see this, especially since this is around the time I got the Panzer. So I was able to kill that machine gun, which is a bummer. And I think I ended up losing this as well. I thought I told this guy to retreat, but apparently I didn't. And the veterancy one also was a bummer there. that Panzer here. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I've got engineers capping this place. I might as well put some random mines here. Got some conscripts here. Bunch of infantry here. Just force them to retreat the guys one by one. Kind of a bit of a role reversal. Has a big group the whole time, and I've usually been splitting up and capping points then retreating, but now it's a bit of a role reversal. And that's actually good for me, because now, with this guy running, I can go after this mortar team. And as you can see, the mortar team died there. And right around the time I got the Panzer as well. Still is a decent VP lead. I got him down to roughly 400, but I'm still at 300 myself. I just noticed that. Apparently my mortar team got stuck here and glitched out. That is real weird. Blew up that cover. Retreat just in time to get away from that. Yeah, with the machine gun there, I decided to just retreat. Saw another machine gun here, and I decided to use my Panzer. Panzer is one of the units that, like, tanks, I think, in general, you don't just want to, like, attack. You want to wait for a situation to use them and kind of get information. So you don't just walk into a bunch of anti-tank guns. So I noticed that he had a machine gun by itself here. And I noticed he had two machine guns, so I really need to take out one. So he had a machine gun here by himself, so I would take that out. Was my goal. But then after that, I would just retreat. And I don't have any machine guns myself, and I decide that's pretty crucial here. So I decided to just, rather than getting like another infantry squad, just queue up two machine guns. And he's finally putting some guys here. Got some squads moving out. And as you can see, he actually doesn't have much gas because I was double capping him for a while, but he also... Okay, he did go for this commander. For a while, he just never went for a commander, but he eventually went for the one I expected him to go for the T-3485. But he never actually got it. He waited like a massive amount of time to be able to get that gas because I've double capped him for a while. And that's one of the things, is that anytime it was like I could go for the VP or I could go for the gas, I went for the gas specifically because I wanted to prevent him from getting this. If I could prevent him from getting this and I can get 2 or 3 Panzers, then if he did get it, it wouldn't matter. Got some infantry squads plus a Panzer, which really prevents him from being able to push in really easily. Did see the anti-tank gun though, but he had to retreat all of his infantry, so I was able to just run around with my Panzer, and the anti-tank gun didn't really do anything. Like, that's the thing, is you have to position it very good, and you have to have it support with it. Anti-tank guns by themselves are just garbage, because as you can see, they're so slow and you can just maneuver tanks around it. With the exception of things like Stooks, or, you know, guns, tanks with fixed turrets, and they can't, like, move them around like this. Yeah, even just infantry by themselves could take it out as well. Didn't want to destroy it or kill it. I was like, you know, if you want to go for another one, go ahead. It's slow and I can maneuver around them with both Panzer and an Offwind. Or Ostwind. Got some munitions here. And even if I don't cap it, I prevent him from getting this one, which is nice. And he has a lot of guys here. I think this moment I actually lost these guys because I didn't notice how many guys he had there. And he died a lot quicker than I expected. And that was pretty bad because he was veteran C3 Grenadier. And with that guy dying, he's very much ahead in the veterancy fight, which is pretty big. But now with the Ostwind coming in against the engineers here, I'm able to kind of comfortably... I was able to take out the squad because he didn't notice it. And that was a big swing in my favor. Any squad wipe at this point is pretty big when I have 2 tanks out. Even though this isn't quite like a tank, but it's very good versus infantry, but it's not good versus other tanks. And I was like, you know what? It seems like you're not really going for the the T-85. So I was like, you know what? I've got 100 gas. By the time you could get one out, I could probably get a second Panzer, so I'm pretty confident to be able to deal with it. And yeah, you can get either any of these pretty much, except for this one. Except for the Su-85 and the T-34-85. And he has a lot of guys here, which isn't good when you have a Panzer and machine gun to pin them down and then just get destroyed by the Panzer. And I also saw he had an anti-tank gun here, so I wanted to flank that. Also got a VP going over here to get my first triple cap for like the whole game. Turned around quicker than I was expecting. I was focusing over there repairing my Panzer. I was like, do I retreat or do I maneuver around him? I honestly don't know. If I maneuver around him, then I think I retreated a bit. Because I was at half health. And now he's got a bunch of 4 guys, and he could actually get a tank here, but he never did. Now I've got control of most of the map with a triple cap. And he has enough gas to get a T-34-85, and that could have turned the tide, because I've got a Panzer and Oswind. He could have been able to take him out. But he kind of just rushes in all together, and wasn't a smart idea. I got 2 machine guns, a mortar. I don't have any infantry, which was actually quite a problem. Because I was forced to retreat some of my guys. But here, as you can see, he's retreating with a lot of his guys. And now, as you can see, sync error detected. And if you actually listen, the replay stopped. But a lot of the... Like, you can hear a mortar constantly coming down and a machine gun constantly firing. But, like, here it's gone. So I think what happened was he either rage quit and just shut off his computer, or he might have crashed, because it was like equal VPs and he was still way ahead infantry wise. I did have a Panzer and an Oswind, but that's not too hard to take out, especially when the Oswind's pretty damaged and he has enough gas for a T-34-85. Like, he definitely could have came back from that, I think. Like, I don't think it was GG quite yet. I mean, this position here where he has very few resources, I was at the position at the start of the game, and he took a big lead, and I never gave up. So, I think he definitely could have still won this. I think his computer either crashed or he rage quit kind of too early. He made maybe like an Hydra GG, like he rage quit when he didn't actually like fully lose. Even though I definitely don't think he won by any means, I was still at a big lead at the end. Or not a big lead, but a decent lead at the end of it. But yeah, a bit of an odd concede, to say the least. And you can even hear, when I leave the game, you can still hear the mortar and the machine gun firing, which was pretty weird, to say the least. But yeah, that was my... Whether that was a proper win or not, that was my 4th win in a row, which in 1v1, which is honestly just jaw-dropping. I, like, never win this much in 1v1s. And I think part of that's just due to how he played. I think the people that he played where he wasn't really using machine guns, he wasn't spamming machine guns, he wasn't, like, locking down a bunch of portions of the map, he wasn't spamming mortars, he wasn't, getting tanks, just by having almost no gas income. Those are the types of things that drive me insane. And he didn't do any of that. He was just playing straight-up infantry, and he was playing infantry well, but not as good as me. Or, I was probably playing a little worse overall, but I was doing better capturing points and multitasking a tiny bit. Because that left side I have for more of the game than he did when that's closer to his side of the map. Which was a big swing. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If my winning streak keeps up, you're going to be seeing a lot more. So, see you all in the next replay.